Hey guys, Monochrome here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Genuinely good to have you. Got something different for you on my channel today, but still related to what this channel is about. These are knot tying cards from Pronot.com. Well, that makes it easy. So what is this? This is a set of 6 cards, front and back, with one very cheap carabiner clip. Let me just show you the carabiner clip. Now you're probably saying to yourself, wow, that is really cheap. Why does it look buggered up like that? Because these types of cheap carabiner aluminum clips come with very sharp pivot points, both sides on the gate. So sharp that if you plan on tossing these into your pack made out of ripstop nylon, guess what? It's gonna rip. Seriously. Cheap little carabiner aluminum alloy clips like this one have very razor sharp pivots. So yeah, take a file take a file to the pivots on either side. These have been ground down rather severely, but as you can see, still works. No issues, no problems. Grind them down, and if you have access to a marble slab, use the slab back and forth. This is now smooth. Very important. So, since this comes with a really cheap carabiner clip, you know these cards aren't going to be too expensive. And guys, no, there will not be specs in the description box below. Everything I'm going to mention is in the video, so pay attention. So, Pronot from Pronot.com, 6 cards, 1 carabiner, 20 knots illustrated. The height, not including the carabiner, is just under 2 1/4 inches. The length is 3.5 inches. You have a metal grommet holding the cards in place with help from the really cheap carabiner. And as you can see from the overhead light reflecting off of this thing, these cards are plastic, not paper, and each one has a clear coating front and back each card. Okay, guys, that's it for the specs. There weren't too many. A lot of products that I review on my channel have a ton of specs. That's why I put them in the description box below. Not today, though. So, why is this useful? Well, you should know the more common knots which are out there, especially in a bug-out situation, a survival situation, or even just a situation where you're camping, hiking, that sort of thing. Now, all of us learned as kids how to tie the most basic knot. Take a shoelace, make a knot out of it. Gee, I wonder what happens if I make a second knot. Oh, I get a knot that, I'm not opening. So, that type of basic knot, it's good for several things, but there are other knots out there. For example, if you perhaps need to tie off your rowboat, do you know which knot to use? Well, these cards, one of them will teach you. Now, that particular knot is specific, but there are other knots which are more general use. And these are some of the more common, most useful knots out there if you like camping, sailing, hiking, anything to do with the great outdoors, maybe a bug out situation, survival situation. And the thing I learned long ago, that when it comes to bug out bags and survival kits, the key thing is to try to fill them with items that have multiple uses, one item, more than one use, and the key secret feature: you are better off putting something that is long and thin into your survival bag or bug out kit than something that is shorter and wider or fatter. Yeah, long and thin. Well, this isn't that long, but as you can see, pretty thin indeed. And also, this isn't quite the sort of thing that you would normally toss into those types of bags. Like, this is something that you might toss into a commuter bag, into your work bag, depending on the work setting. If it's a very formal office, business-like setting, yeah, no. But a more casual work setting, depending on what your job might be, maybe you're stuck behind a desk for most of your shift and no one really supervises you, well, bring these cards along, bring some string, bring some paracord, bring something that will help you untie knots as well, like maybe a marlin spike, maybe one attached to a traditional sailor's pocket knife, and yeah, just have some fun and practice using these cards. Now, if you take the carabiner clip off, what you can do is lay these completely flat. And again, sorry for the reflection from above. I can't do anything about the lighting in this room. But you can lay these flat without the carabiner clip, and you can glance at the card while you're making your knots, which is a lot better than having maybe a small softcover book in which the spine of the book gets in the way of laying the book flat and being able to look at the illustrations. Now, regarding the other cards, this thing fans out. All of these cards fan out from the grommet. And yes, you can open up each of these cards to the point that the grommet won't get in the way of being able to read exactly what's written on the cards. So that's a great thing. Now you can see that the carabiner clip is attached, but even if the carabiner clip is removed, the grommet keeps the cards together. Although without the carabiner clip, yeah, these will lay absolutely flat. So that's a good thing. And yeah, this is something, I mean, I would advise reading through the cards, which obviously is not going to take that long at all. Read through the cards, pick out like one or two knots that are going to be the most useful to you. I'd say at least two. Pick out like 2 knots, maybe 3, something, the most useful ones for you and what you like to do in your spare time when you go out into the woods. Yeah, pick 2 or 3 that are most useful for you and practice them, memorize them. Again, slip it into your commuter bag, slip it into your work bag. If you're a college student, slip it in there. Yeah. Impress all the girls with your knot tying skills. Oh, they love that stuff. But yeah, This is a useful skill to have because, let's face it, knot tying is not going to go out of fashion. It's not going to go out of style. It's not something that's going to be replaced with brand new technology. Oh, tying knots out in the great outdoors. Yes, there is no app for that. Sorry, there is no app for that. And there never will be. So it's important to learn a good, useful skill. Because there are knots out there that you can make them and they slide up and down. And that's something that might be useful for your needs. That's right, you have knots out there that are not stationary. You have knots out there that are ideal for different activities, different things, anytime you step out of your door. And we all know how useful string and paracord can be out in the wilderness, especially for things like shelter building. So something like this that doesn't take up a lot of space, it doesn't get in the way, and when you need to look at the illustrations, which are very well done, when you need to look at these things as you're practicing, again, unlike a soft cover book that won't lay flat on its own, these will lay flat. Just take off the super cheap carabiner clip, and again, I strongly advise the 2 pivot points on either side of the gate. Yeah, you're going to want to file that down. Absolutely. File that down, and if you have access to maybe something like an old marble slab, just push this clip back and forth, both sides, get it nice and smooth. I mean, especially if you carry a cheaper pack and you want to slip this in there, you don't want it accidentally ripping your pack. I mean, it is amazing how cheap these clips are, but it keeps the cost down. This thing isn't expensive at all. I don't know what I paid for it, guys, but yeah, this set of cards, not expensive at all. You should be able to very easily afford it, and it's a good thing to have with you. I mean, in between classes at college, when you've got some time off before your next one starts, just start making knots. Have some fun. Or, you know, you're traveling to work. Obviously, I'm assuming you're not driving, but the back of a car, on a bus, hopefully one that's not too crowded and you manage to get a seat, yeah, you could practice this. People might look at you like you're a weirdo, but then again, if you're from my neck of the woods, you're going to be the least weirdest person on the bus. I would say try this while heading to work on the subway, but yeah, no, you need to keep an eye on people around you. Make sure no one tries anything. But yeah, some free time, maybe at work, in between classes. These are great. Absolutely handy, useful, doesn't cost a lot of money, not made from thin, cheap paper, so they do have some durability built in. And yeah, just a handy, neat item for use in the great outdoors if you want to expand your knowledge base, especially when it comes to knot tying. All right, guys. That's it for today. I know, a bit of an unusual video. I'll be back next week with a video, more of the more common items that you normally see on my channel. But, you know, every once in a while, something a little bit unusual, but still somewhat related. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please stay safe out there. Yes, it's still dangerous, unfortunately. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.